So let me explain why the telepathic question that you're asking is being asked in the first place. This planet has been run as literally a prison for thousands of years. And how is a prison run? It puts people in the prison and it doesn't let them get out of the prison. Now, it's a psychological prison. It's not a prison with bars. But that's how advanced prisons in the galaxy are operated. What happens is, we don't use the word soul or spirit. We use the word Isby. Everybody is an Isby. You're an Isby, I'm an Isby, everybody's an Isby. And an Isby is someone who is simply for the purpose of being. Now, you cannot kill an Isby. You cannot kill a person. You can kill the body, but you can't kill the person. The person's Isby is the real person. You can not kill an Isby, but you can deceive an Isby. You can lie to an Isby. You can trap an Isby. You can enslave an Isby, but you can't kill the Isby. So, it used to be in the galaxy that death was a means of transportation. Someone dies and then they say, okay, I'm getting out of there. If it wasn't a nice place to be, and they go someplace else. However, how do you stop that in places? Now, if you remember the former Soviet Union, people used to try to get out of the former Soviet Union. Ballet dancers like Rudolf Nureyev and Mikhail Baryshnikov, they had to escape during times when they were walking between aircraft, and like on a Paris airport, they had to run for help and ask for permission to be able to stay. So, totalitarian, authoritarian societies try to keep people in and not let people out. So, with regard to authoritarian, totalitarian groups within the galaxy, it would turn out to be the same way. They would lose their entire population. Every time a person died, they would just go someplace else. So they had to stop that from happening, and that involved technology. So what happens is, when somebody dies, the normal process, in fact, the normal process elsewhere in the galaxy is when you die, it's not a surprise. The body simply stops functioning. You pop out of it and everyone can still see you. You can see them. You don't lose your bank account. You don't lose your car. You don't lose your wife, your husband, your spouse, your friends, or anything. Everybody knows you're still there. And you can get another body, or if you feel like it, you can go from the beginning and be a baby again, but you don't lose that stuff because everyone knows that the body is not you. So why does that not work here on Earth? Because this prison system has been set up with extremely advanced technology. You have to understand, we are talking about civilizations that have been around for like 1 million years, and everything that can be invented has been invented. Technology is not the cutting edge of science out there in the galaxy. The cutting edge of science is social science, trying to figure out how societies can operate and, new ways of societies developing in the galaxy. But what we have now is a situation where you die, physically, the body dies, and information has been kept from you while you're alive as a physical being. So you die sort of ignorant. And then as soon as you die, you see the light. You've heard that story? Well, that's true. You see the light and you get drawn to the light. It's like a magnetic pull, very warm, embracing light, and it pulls you in. And then if you start to resist it and fight it, it's like being stuck in a fly trap. The more you resist, the more you get stuck. And it draws you in. And then once you're in, you get zapped with a lightning, essentially a high voltage bolt that's way higher voltage than, say, a lightning bolt. You get zapped with a high voltage shock, like shock treatment, and you can't be killed, but you can be rattled. And what happens is you lose your memory, you lose your telepathic capabilities, you lose your remote viewing perceptual capabilities, you're just stunned. And then an AI comes out, you've heard this story before, an AI comes out and says, you're a very important person, and we've been talking about your case with the Council of Elders. You see the Council of Elders over there? Yeah. Well, we have been thinking, the arguments you used to have with your mother, and your daughter has been she's got some troubles going on, and then the communication you had with your husband was not the best, and your wife was thinking that, remember what happened with your father at this job? We think that you could work on a few of the personality issues just a little bit more. And we think if you went back and just sort of struggled and worked on these personality issues, you could really become sort of perfect. But it's up to you. It's a free will. You can decide for yourself. Well, without memory, without telepathic capabilities, without perceptual capabilities, you inevitably say, sure, it sounds good to me. I'll go back and work on a few of the fine points of my personality. And then you go back in. So when you see the light, that's tech you're looking at. You're looking at tech. You're not looking at God. It's technology.